The following is a presentation of the Big East Conference Television Network. The 85-86 season in the Big East Conference belonged to the Redmen of St. John. It was left to Willie Glass to cut down the nets at Madison Square Garden as the Redmen were crowned champions. Defending that title, though, has been a lot more difficult. St. John's has already lost 3 times in conference play, including this heartbreaking 1-point loss last weekend at the Carrier Dome. But head coach Lou Carnesecca comes into tonight's game confident. He still believes his club belongs in the nation's top 20 and in the top of the Big East. And if Providence College is to pull off the win tonight, they will have to counter the spectacular athletic moves of Willie Glass. The story this year in the Big East has been the Providence College Friars. Led by Billy Donovan and Delray Brooks, Providence College has come from nowhere to challenge for the top spot. Last Wednesday night here at the Providence Civic Center, this shot by Ernie Pop Lewis brought back memories of the 70s. Providence College beats Georgetown. Tonight, they look to do the same to St. John's. It's Big East basketball. Tonight's game, the St. John's Redmen take on the Providence Friars. Big East basketball is brought to you by Piedmont, serving more cities in the East than any other airline. By Chrysler Motors, the official car and truck of the Big East, and your local Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers. And by Avis Rent-A-Car, the official rental car of the Big East Conference. It has been nearly 10 years since crowds like this came to the Providence Civic Center to see basketball. They lined up all day on Friday looking for tickets. Tonight, they are out there looking for standing room. 12,000 have crammed their way into the Providence Civic Center tonight, and we have got one heck of a basketball game coming up. Why? The Providence College Friars, in everybody's preseason poll, picked for 5th, 6th. Suddenly, they are challenging for the top spot in the Big East, and with the win tonight, they could tie Syracuse for #1 8 weeks into the Big East season. This is the biggest surprise in a long time in Providence, Rhode Island. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Gorman, along with former Holy Cross All-American Ron Perry, and it's been since Ron Perry's days that this many people have come to Providence to see a basketball game. The Friars are the ultimate overachievers. They have been all year long, and one of the biggest overachievers of all has to be Dave Kipfer.
No question about it, Mike. Providence comes into this game leading the country in 3-point field goals made per game with Billy Donovan, Delray Brooks, Ernie Pop Lewis, but in many respects, David Kipfer is the backbone of this team with his low post and inside play at 6'7". He leads the team in rebounding. He's the 3rd leading scorer on the team. Had a very big ball game in the Georgetown win, particularly when the outside shots weren't going. A very tough player inside. He'll need that toughness against St. John's.
One of the keys for Providence, as always, is tempo. They love to up-tempo the game. Now, a couple of weeks ago in Pittsburgh, a real shocker. St. John's beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and the reason was Mark Jackson, who just took a stranglehold on the game. Can he do that again tonight?
Mike, if anyone's capable of doing it, Mark Jackson is. He's the consummate point guard. He can take control of a game, dish out assists, but most importantly, he makes the good decisions when he's on the floor. He knows when to have the Redmen running or when to have them setting up. And I think they'd like to make those right choices in this game, and he's the guy to do it.
We all know St. John's. We know their history. We know their tradition. Big crowds on the road do not really affect them. But as a player, Ron, how about the big crowd when you are the home team? What does it do for you?
Gives you a tremendous lift, Mike. The adrenaline's already flowing for this game. You can feel the electricity just standing in here. The main thing for Providence is not to let that get them over that fine line of being aware of what you're doing on the court. Use it as an inspiration, but not as a deterrent. And I think given what happened the other night against Georgetown, they used it the right way.
All right, it would appear that big-time college basketball is back for real here in Providence, Rhode Island. When we come back, the opening lineup between the Friars and the Redmen. First, a word from your local station. A very loud Providence Civic Center, a sellout crowd. A very loud Providence Civic Center, a sellout crowd is here. Let's go to our public address announcer, Ray Berger.
Welcome to the Providence Civic Center, home of the Providence College Friars. Tonight's guests, the Redmen of St. John's University. Here are our starting lineups. Starting at forward for St. John's, 6'6" senior from Atlantic City, New Jersey, number 30, Willie Glass. At forward for Providence College, 6'7" senior from Kitchener, Ontario, number 15, David Kipper. At forward for St. John's, 6'9" junior from Amityville, New York, number 31, Sheldon Jones. At forward for Providence College, 6'7" senior from Germantown, Pennsylvania, number 23, Ernie Pop Lewis. At center for St. John's, 6'9" junior from Somerville, New Jersey, number 10, Terry Bross. At center for Providence College, 6'10" senior from Central Falls, Rhode Island, number 50, Yazik Duda. At guard for St. John's, 6'5" sophomore from Babylon, New York, number 23, Matt Bruss. At guard for Providence, 6'4" junior from Michigan City, Indiana, number 12, Delray Brooks. At guard for St. John's, 6'3" senior from St. Albans, New York, number 13, Mark Jackson. At guard for Providence College, 6-foot senior from Rockville Center, Long Island, number 34, Billy Donovan. The head coach of the Redmen, Lou Conaseca. The head coach of the Friars, Rick Pitino.
And we are just moments away for the opening tip. The Providence College Friars and St. John's Redmen from a sold-out Providence Civic Center. First, a word from your local station. And welcome back once again to Providence, Rhode Island, everybody. And you can see there are no empty seats in this building. Mike Gorman along with Ron Perry. Let's take a quick look at the officials before we tap it off here tonight. Larry Lembo in the middle, Jim Burr on the left, and Jim Kinsey on the right. Providence College comes in 5-2 in Big East play. There you see the overall records and a comparison. 3-point field goals, the big weapon of the Providence College Friars. They shoot that as well as they shoot the two-pointers just about, Ron.
They really like to come down on fast breaks, Mike. They'll even set up outside that three-point land and take the long one.
All right, Willie Glass and Yazik Duda go up in the middle. Attack controlled by Bross, and we are underway. Providence will play pretty much a matchup zone. That's Matt Bruss, number 23, the transfer out of North Carolina. Really plays a small forward more than he does a guard, as St. John's offense will be controlled by number 13 there, Mark Jackson, the entire time.
Out of the zone, they have to try to avoid giving Mark Jackson the ability to split people where he can find the open person.
St. John's will be patient. Bross, a nice recovery there. Jackson lets it fly, won't go down, a rebound loose. Who's got it? Jackson's got it back again with a fresh 45.
This is where he takes charge of things. We mentioned the Pittsburgh game. He's not afraid to back it out, set people up, and work some more time off the clock until St. John's can get the high percentage shot.
St. John's has had Providence College on defense now for nearly a minute of this ball game. Shelton Jones, they'll try to free him on the baseline of the 31.
The philosophy of this tempo, it takes time off the clock and lets you play defense that much less and lets you be on offense that much more to get the high percentage one.
That was Ernie Lewis who came over with the quick hands on Willie Glass. Good look at Luke Carnesecca down on the St. John's bench. That suit coat came off about 7:15 tonight.
Ready to play.
Ready to play as always. Brooks out on Jackson, and he hits for three.
That's veteran confidence. He missed the jump shot earlier, not afraid to set up the offense once again and take the three-pointer. That's what Providence is known for, but Mark Jackson also has the range.
Lewis inside Kipfer, wheels on Gross, wants it, and he got it.
Tough worker inside, David Kipfer. Very important for Providence to establish the low post play to free up their outside shooters.
Jackson's got Jones on a wing, and he finds him. Shelton Jones is fouled underneath. The foul, I believe, will go on either Lewis or Duda. Let's see.
Mark Jackson oftentimes appears to just have a string on that ball. He does it all with his right hand right there. It appears that Shelton Jones possibly could have caught that ball and just glided in for the layup. Instead, he got fouled as he put it to the floor.
Jacek Duda picked up the foul, his first. St. John's by 1. He just checked in.
This is an active 2-3 zone. It looks like a man-to-man, but it's a matchup.
Jones will be able to shoot over Lewis, and that's going to be foul number 2 on Duda. Terry Gross beat him to the position, and Duda had to come over the back.
One of the strong suits of St. John's, we saw their rebound margin at the top of the show, better than 5 rebounds a game, and many of the rebounds that they get are offensive boards. Many times, Willie Glass and Shelton Jones. They must be boxed.
Mark Jackson had walked all the way up the other end of the floor to talk to Lou Carnesecca. He thought it was a shooting foul, and so did Louis.
Did appear that the rebound was in the act of shooting as Bross got that rebound. It did appear he was going right up with the shot as he got hacked.
Here's a steal by Kipfer down in the corner. Providence looking to run, and they will look to run all night long. Billy Donovan.
A couple of slick moves right there himself.
Kicks it off, Delray Brooks.
Billy Donovan, a fine penetrator. He'd do 3 Georgetown Hoyas to him last week in the big upset win of Georgetown and freed up Ernie Pop Lewis for a jumper from the right corner. Great penetration.
Providence trying to deny the ball to Jackson. Now Brust will bring it up through the pressure, and Jones will look for St. John's to kick it back out and start their offense. Providence
will extend pressure this whole game. St. John's, if they don't have an advantage, is content to run their half-court set.
Shelton Jones can't get it down, but 3, count them, 3 Providence College Friars couldn't control the rebound. So St. John's down 1, catches a break with 17-11 to go first half. Rick Pitino also up and active on his sideline. He's done a heck of a job here in Providence. Better than anybody not only could have expected, better than anybody could have hoped for.
Now they're ahead of schedule. He talked about a 4 or 5 year plan, but they really have this city of Providence behind them.
Willie Glass missing baseline, and Brooks looks to run. Lewis thought about the 3-pointer, lost it on the way through, but the foul will go on Mark Jackson.
We've got some preventive officiating right away as Jim Kinsey steps in between a couple of players that could best be described as being on the all-intensity team, Matt Brust and David Kipfer for Providence. 2 hard-working players. That's a good job by the refs to get in between them early. A lot of emotion in this game, and they want to keep this game well under control.
Brust is a big kid. Lewis, 3.
A very common sight for Providence this year, taking the 3-pointer and making it. They lead the nation in that category, making better than 8 of those a game.
They have taken as many as 30 in a game, too. So, while some coaches fight the rule and argue with the rule, Rick Pitino has embraced the rule and built his offense around it.
Like another fundamental of the game for Providence, just like the pick and roll.
Shelton Jones, but the foul will be on Ernie Lewis, as Jones has got about 3 inches there in that matchup if he can capitalize.
Out of the matchup, Providence has to try to avoid those kinds of situations because Shelton Jones at 6'9", getting that kind of position down low is very tough to stop.
There you see the score from earlier today in the Big East overtime. Harry McDonald, about a 9-footer, falling down, knocked it home, and Georgetown takes out Syracuse. Syracuse now with 2 losses. Pittsburgh has 2 losses. Providence College has 2 losses.
We heard it before the season, a lot of balance in the league. I don't think there's any great surprise right now. Syracuse got off to the great start, but we're seeing people really start to bump each other off at week 8.
Some really did fear early that Syracuse would run away and hide, but Pittsburgh went into the Dome and won last week. St. John's nearly won there a week ago. Now Georgetown to win at the Cap Center today. 7-4, Friars by 3, 16-13 to go in the half.
St. John's playing their standard, fundamental, man-to-man defense. They help out very well away from the ball.
Lewis coming to the ball, looking for Donovan. Kipper inside due to the hook. Good follow by Lewis, but it was blocked by Bross. Left side glass. Along the baseline, Shelton Jones.
Major league jam. He stuck along the baseline. No one saw him, and then it was just a quick step and acceleration. Vertical leap time.
Delray Brooks, a runner, got it, and a foul. Terry Bross picked it up, and a slick move by Delray Brooks, known for his three-point shooting, really took that one to the basket strong.
That'll only improve his three-point shooting ability and give it more respect. He goes right by Shelton Jones and Terry Bross right there. I was just talking about help-out defense. Brooks was too quick on that move.
And now St. John's is going to take a timeout.
Mike, I think Louis feels that ball should have been a foul perhaps earlier, or maybe even he's signaling travel. But count that hoop. He'll have a chance for a three-pointer. Louis working the refs.
And it cost Louis a tech, too. We've got a timeout on the floor. 15:33 left to play here, first half. And Providence College is off quickly. They're up by 3, 9-6. Welcome back. Let's take another look here at the... You see Luke on the second top of the screen. There goes Brooks to the hoop. Now the foul is there by Terry Bross.
Close, Mike. You know, what he's arguing is that he's on the floor, but he is springing up as he goes up for the shot, so I don't really have any argument with the call. Louis wants it on the floor, so it would just be Providence ball out of bounds, but as it stands, he's got a free throw. And a chance for the three-pointer.
Delray Brooks is setting up at the line here. 9-6 Providence by 3. Brooks, it appears, is going to shoot the tee. Then he'll shoot his own foul.
Potential for a 7-point play for Providence, Mike. The good hoop, the two-shot technical on Louis, the free throw on the foul, and the ball out of bounds.
There's one of them.
Very significant play early for PC.
Not Billy Donovan, excuse me. That was Brooks shooting the end of his three-point play. Billy Donovan, an 81% free throw shooter, is going to the line to shoot the tee. Big swing early in this ball game. Got them both.
And the ball, Mike.
Providence by 6, and they get the ball back. Marty Conlon is checked into the game, number 30 from Providence College. He's out there with Steve Wright, who's also fresh in the game, Lewis, Donovan, and Brooks. No substitutions for Louis. He probably won't make too many. Brooks wants it. That could be offensive. No, it's going the other way.
Very dangerous play by Terry Bross. Even though the whistle blew, and there was a foul on that play, a two-shot foul, Bross catches the ball. Bear in mind, though, the referee's ruling is that it has to have a chance to go in. This ball clearly is below the rim, even though on that angle, it looked like it was right up there. In any event, a very dangerous play by Terry Bross.
Gave that foul to Matt Bross. It looked in the replay there like Brooks cleared him out with the left hand. However, Brooks now with 6 points on the night. Make it 7, and Providence is up 14-6.
And pressing, and St. John's is attacking with a 1-4 set. They'll break someone long, and they'll also use their big men, like right there, to bring the ball up and then pass it and get it in the hands of Jackson.
Tommy, I know one of the things that St. John's did not want to do is get down early.
You never
takes away the tempo, right?
That's right. You never want to on the road. You want to grab the early lead and then make your decisions if you want to run or set up the half-court offense.
Tipped away from glass by Lewis, but St. John's will maintain control. Barely 5 minutes gone in this game. Providence by 8.
Coaches will tell you that their best strategies are when they can get that early lead and then dictate the way they want to do things rather than try to play catch-up ball early.
Shelton Jones kicking across court hard to Jackson. Pass out of bounds off Billy Donovan. St. John's gets it back with 35 seconds on the shot clock. Terry Bross looks to put it up quickly and does. First bucket for Bross, and here are the Friars over half court in a hurry.
That play always seems to work year in, year out. The very quick alley-oop on the inbounds, catching the defense by surprise.
Marty Conlon, foul Bross, reaching in. On Bross, that is number 2.
The message should be clear to the players in this game. The referees are going to call the reach-in fouls, so they're best to play defense with their feet and not get that very quick reach-in call. Louis still working Jimmy Burr on the sidelines.
Donovan for 3 in anybody's league.
Downtown is right. No hesitation, though, at all. Providence loves to go to that three-point shot.
Jackson waving people away. Donovan on the double. They're going to make Brust bring it up through the pressure. 17-8. Providence by 9.
Providence is playing with great confidence after that Georgetown win.
Sure.
But you mentioned it at the top. This is a veteran St. John's team, and they've got number 13, Mark Jackson, at the top. They don't get phased easily.
Shelton Jones, nowhere to go, dumps it out. Ross hits, and the basket's going to count. The foul is going to go on Conlon, I believe.
That's a bonus for Luke Carnesecca if he can get point production out of the center position. That's been a weak link point-wise for St. John's. They get more point production out of the forward slots. That'll just make the alleys that much better for Willie Glass and Shelton Jones.
2 of the starters coming back in, Duda and Kipfer for Providence College. Wright and Conlon go to the bench. You see Bross struggling at the free throw line. Not that time, though.
Rick Pitino loves to go to his bench early, press the whole game, give people a rest, but you can rest assured you'll see the basic players, the starters in there at the end of the ballgame.
Billy Donovan doesn't get much rest in this club, I'll tell you.
He sure doesn't.
Donovan shut off, kicks it out to Lewis, and then gets it right back. Wants to move, good move on Jackson.
Quick
out to Brooks. That is the Providence College offense right there.
Penetrate to 3 feet away from the basket and then dish it back for the three-point shot.
And there you see, they lead the Big East in three-point field goal percentage and free throw percentage. 10 first half points for Delray Brooks. Providence by 9. Lewis a near steal on Shelton Jones. Matt Brust walked with it.
St. John's has to get the ball in the hands of Mark Jackson Moore against the pressure. Providence is doing a good job shading him deep in St. John's own backcourt, not letting him touch the ball, and that can be the result if the fine point guard doesn't have it.
Luke Carnesecca is going to go to Marco Baldi. Donovan lost it on the way through, but it went off a leg of one of the St. John's players. Ross goes out, and there's Baldi coming in. Delray Brooks to inbound under his basket. 12:53 to go here. Now Brooks is coming out and gets a big hand from the Providence crowd. Freshman Carlton screen is checked in.
Lightning quick.
Donovan, great screen by Duda. Hip for the follow, but he's going to pick up a foul as he came over the back of Baldi.
Couldn't help but think as I saw Delray Brooks run off the court, what an immediate impact he made to this Friar program since joining the team in mid-December. Fit right in, and Billy Donovan, who had been handling the bulk of the scoring, really fit in well with him.
Great steal by Duda as he dove for the floor for it. Donovan. And Duda commits foul number 3 over the back. But great hustle by 6'11", 240-pound Jacek Duda to go to the ball, go to the floor. Watch him here.
This is very close to a 5-second call. It barely got to Jones before the 5, but this is what the full court pressure will do for Providence. You may think this three-point shot goes up quickly. They've been doing it all year with success. This time you see Duda over the back picking up foul number 3.
Baldi trying to relieve some of the pressure, gets it to Brust, now up to Jones. He's looking for Jackson in the middle, but they've got Jackson pretty much covered. Now Mark looks to go to the hoop, nowhere to go in the baseline, and he stepped on it. Turnover, St. John's.
Very unusual to see. The more they can get it to him in the middle to let him create, the better off, rather than giving it to him over on the sideline. Credit PC, though, with the good denial.
There's Kipfer. Good move on Baldi, but Shelton Jones came for the block, and Ernie Lewis picked up the foul.
Did he ever?
What a block by Shelton Jones.
He was so quick on that play. It looked like Kipfer had the angle, and Jones, with the great anticipation, gets up there, and the best thing he does is keeps that ball in play.
Well, the with Friars, as is the case often in their games, over the limit with 12:16 to play here first half. That was the 17th foul, the second on Ernie Lewis. And now Willie Glass is going to step to the line. Duda has gone to the bench with those 3 fouls, and Steve Wright is in. Willie Glass, who is a much improved free throw shooter over the years. Darrell Wright checking in, and Ernie Lewis on the bench. Lewis has 2 personal fouls. Glass got them both. Willie's averaging 15 a game in Big East play. His club is down 7.
St. John's adjusts now to a 1-3-1, trapping half-court offense.
Inside, right for 2.
Nice feed.
Carlton Screen gets the assist.
Jackson taking it alone. Right the block. Loose ball picked off by Screen. Stolen by Glass from behind. Great save by Glass on the baseline.
Oh, we're seeing some quickness right here. Talk about acceleration. Carlton Screen is not the easiest guy to catch from behind.
There's Mark Jackson trying to restore a little order here to the proceedings. Bruss nearly traveled, and Jackson did. And he may make that move in the NBA next year and nobody will blow a whistle, but around here, they're going to nail him. 11:30 to play here in the first half. Providence up by 9. Back with more after this word from your local station. With Ron Perry, here is the freshman, Carlton Screen. Nifty feed, Ron.
Making an impact right away off the bench. Pretty good catch, too, by Steve Wright, and then he finishes off.
Any points that Providence College gets down low, they consider really a bonus, and Carlton Screen keeping the big men there, Steve Wright in particular, involved in the offense. But Providence's offense in general is about 19 feet and 9 inches away from the basket. There you see the 3-point field goals. The Friars 3 of 3. Jackson's early, the only one attempted by St. John's. Kipfer, Donovan, Screen, Wright, and Darrell Wright are on the floor right now for Providence College. Marco Baldi, the only sub to see action so far for St. John's. Hopping out Darrell Wright. He's got 3-point range, too. Screen, corner right. And he traveled with it on the little hesitation move. Second turnover on Providence College. St. John's has turned it over 5 times. Rick Pitino looking for an illegal screen of some sort by St. John's. There you see the turnovers I just mentioned.
There was a lot of bumping that last time with Marco Baldi and Dave Kipfer. I think he might have felt that Baldi had the arms up. Might have got away with a walk right there, too.
I think he did.
He was looking for someone to give it to, saw no, and gave it the extra shuffle step.
Slick little pass by Jackson, and Willie Glass hits his favorite shot.
Subtle by Jackson, yet frees up Willie Glass for an easy jumper. Glass has really improved his shooting since he got to St. John's. Known as a great leaper, he's got a complete game right now.
St. John's pretty much leaving Darrell Wright alone on the outside, but Brust is all over Donovan whenever he touches the ball. Donovan penetrates the runner.
Just about to say what a mismatch that was as you look at Rick Pitino. What a job he's done with Donovan, instilling so much confidence in him. Brust is 6'5", Donovan 6 feet. Quite a difference.
See Donovan hawking Mark Jackson with the ball right there. And St. John's will go back into their offense. Down 9 with 10 minutes now straight up to go here first half.
This is why St. John's is in a lot of close games. They like to execute out of the half court.
Rust unable to hit. Baldi coming strong for the rebound, and the foul is going to go against Providence College. Baldi is going to find himself at the line. Steve Wright picks up foul number 1. Delray Brooks is coming back into the game along with Marty Conlon. And now Elander Lewis will see his first action of the game off the St. John's bench.
He's a good-looking young backcourt player for Lou Conasecker as well, as Mark Jackson puts his arm around him. Started most of the early games, didn't play many minutes, but he has been on the floor, so he's seen some action.
First point of the night from Marco Baldi.
I remember well the big free throws he made off the bench last year in the Big East tournament against Syracuse, and the last second shot by Ron Rowan.
He's sitting right beside you for that.
He's got the soft touch. You remember too, Mike.
Conlon kicks it out to screen. Orlando Lewis is out on Brooks. Brooks wants to go on him, but Lewis, a nice job shutting him off. Right, blocked by Shelton Jones. Right, got it back, blocked again, and Conlon keeps it alive to screen at half court.
Big Steve Wright blocked Marty Conlon's shot that time.
Whistle off the ball. Foul, I believe, is going on Steve Wright as Shelton Jones is over at the St. John's bench. Let's take a look.
Great leaping ability by Shelton Jones there. Willie Glass might have had a piece of it too. Tries to jam it home, and then Marty Conlon has it batted out of his hands by Steve Wright. Saves it.
That was a second foul on Steve Wright as he and Shelton Jones collided off the ball, and Shelton Jones had to be physically restrained. This is kind of a nasty little game going on here.
Very physical in the paint.
Yeah, very physical. Coming into the game, Abdul Shamsuddin, a big 6'11" freshman, and Wright sits down. See Dean from Staten Island, New York, and at the line, Shelton Jones. And Shelton Jones has been a real key for St. John's this year, a key because when he plays well, they win, and when he doesn't play well, they don't. It's really what it's come down to so far in Big East play, anyway.
That's a good definition for a key player, and he's had a lot of good second halves in games. We talked about Mark Jackson at Pitt. He was awesome in the second half against Pitt in that game.
5 points tonight for Shelton Jones. St. John's very quietly has crept back to 5.
They're going with the man-to-man in this 1-3-1. Important for the backcourt players for Providence to split between the two guards and penetrate.
Screen, a runner. It goes, and he's fouled. Orlando Lewis picks up the foul.
Carlton Screen twice, the Big East Freshman of the Week this year. Not afraid to come off the bench. We saw him with a fine assist inside to Steve Wright, and not afraid to penetrate and make things happen.
It's foul number 5 on St. John's here. Carlton Screen, he played his high school ball at Zavarian High School, where Chris Mullen played. 72% free throw shooter, knocks it home. Billy Donovan probably got his only rest of the night here, those last 3 or 4 minutes. Screen did a nice job, though. Here comes Lewis, waiting for him, Darrell Wright. Now Baldy, top of the key.
Once Jackson gives it up, Providence trying very hard to deny him the ball and then trap him, make him give it up.
See Delray Brooks standing back with the hands up. He'll come and get Jackson as soon as Jackson loses his dribble. Willie Glass hits the shot jumper.
That's just great athletic ability. He can just jump over his man when he wants to.
And a traveling violation on Delray Brooks. Rick Pitino not buying the call. St. John's can get back to 4 here.
These are some things Rick Pitino has to live with the up-tempo, though. The turnovers, the aggressive fouls, because he does have his players playing very tough ball to full court.
Jackson goes back door nicely. Finds Glass on the cut. Basket is good and a foul.
Big time move all the way around. Great backdoor cut by Mark Jackson. It was recognized, and when he gets the ball around the foul line area, look at that shift right there as he goes backdoor on Abdul Shamsuddin. He penetrates, sees people. Willie Glass. What an athletic move and strength to finish off.
Willie can play, that's for sure. This will be a nice angle on this. Oh, yeah.
Tough to describe that one. He just hangs in midair.
Missed the free throw. Providence ball in the alternating possession as Shelton Jones was able to tie up one of the Friars. So the score stands at 27-23, 8:29 to play first half from Providence. The Friars 5-2 in the Big East. St. John's 5-3.
Mike wouldn't be surprised to see Pop Lewis back into the game soon. He's really a fine shooter.
Nice penetration, and Brooks can't get it to go down, but Conlon misses the easy rebound, and Lewis out of the pack with the ball. The freshman, Orlando Lewis, brings it out now.
Conlon's eyes must have lit up so big that time, it was too easy for him.
Willie Glass, little runner, won't go down. Glass, strong move in the offensive board to keep it alive.
That's St. John's best offense right there. Take the high percentage jump shot and crash the boards and get second and third opportunities.
Third opportunity this trip. Orlando Lewis is blocked out of bounds by Conlon. And for a fourth time, St. John's will try to take it to the hoop, but first we're going to have a timeout. 7:45 left to play here, first half in Providence. Rick Pitino's upset, but his club is up by 4. 27-23. Back with more after this word from your local station. A good chance to remind you this copyrighted telecast is produced by the authority of the Big East Conference and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Big East Conference is prohibited. 7:45 to play here first half. Mike Bowman along with Ron Perry, 27-23. The Friars of Providence College up by 4, shooting 53% to 48 for St. John's, but St. John's has shot the ball much better the last 3-4 minutes.
They have, and they've quietly and really very effectively got themselves back into this game. It's a 4-pointer right now. Providence got off to a fast start. Hard to phase this veteran St. John's club.
Really is. Again, I hate to bring up a game that perhaps some people didn't see, but this game right now is very reminiscent of a game a week ago Monday night against Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh got out fast and early against St. John's, and St. John's just like never changed their tempo, kept playing. Shelton Jones missing there. Billy Donovan finds Brooks in the middle, Conlon, and he just traveled with it.
Tried to make it happen too quickly that time, got his feet tangled up. Again, he's just a freshman, and Rick Pitino won't get upset when he makes a mistake like that because of aggressive play.
And that was aggressive, too.
Sure was. He hit the floor with authority.
And that is a traveling violation. Orlando Lewis making the freshman mistake to counter Conlon's. You get the ball like that on a turnover, you can't move, right?
Right. It's just like traveling with the ball on the court. You're allowed to hold your pivot foot, but you can't walk with it along the baseline, which he did. Conlon
is out and Dave Kipfer is back in, so the Friars get it back. A chance to extend their lead to 6 or more. Darrell Wright nearly lost it. Looking for help, finds Kipfer. Now Kipfer loses the dribble and throws it away. Willie Glass out of the pack with the ball, finds Lewis on a wing. And which way is it going to go? Kipfer, I believe. Kipfer the block, Lewis to the line. And Rick Pitino sees the second foul go against Dave Kipfer. Oh.
Looked very close. I think Dave Kipfer had planted his feet on that one. The only movement the official might have seen was with the upper body, a slight turn, but his feet were planted.
Sure looked like they were. Shelton Jones out with some words of encouragement, I guess you could say, for Orlando Lewis.
That's right. Once you plant your feet too, Mike, you can protect yourself. I thought Kipfer had good position on that one.
That's the first free throw that the freshman Orlando Lewis has made in Big East competition. The Providence lead, though, once as high as 11, has shrunk to 3. Conlon is right back into the ball game, as is the case. And a foul is going to be called on Orlando Lewis reaching in. Second foul on Lewis, who's getting a lot of minutes here in this first half. That is only number 6, though, in St. John's, so the freshman Conlon will inbound.
We are seeing some excellent fundamental defense in this first half. Man-to-man and zone, helping out and trapping. Only way to break that is to penetrate and to pass the ball, utilize the bounce pass more.
Conlon turns on Baldy. Looks for help, and Donovan comes. Donovan, nice first step. Got it off the glass.
What a shot. He got it up over the big guy somehow.
Billy Donovan. Near steal, Delray Brooks on Baldy, who's in all sorts of trouble. Shelton Jones keeps it alive, and look at the Friars on the floor, and now official Jim Burr got hit by Shelton Jones.
Everyone's getting into the action. Shelton Jones was trying to get out of the way of the play. Jimmy Burr turned in to make the call. I believe it's going to be a foul on Billy Donovan. And it was quite a collision.
Sure was. He got hit really hard. The trainer for Providence College. Take a look. Bottom of your screen.
Billy Donovan will come in, dive for the ball, and I believe Jimmy Burr's going to whistle for the foul right there. Oh, the elbow right in the forehead. Accidental, but Jimmy Burr being attended to.
Took it square in the forehead. Luke Carnesecca came all the way over. Jim Burr, a veteran official who you see not only on Big East games, you see him all over the country doing big games.
There's no way he could have seen that coming. He was stepping in to make the call. Shelton Jones avoiding the action, and then you saw the collision that followed.
Still, as you say, right flush in the forehead. It looked like where he got it. Ooh, and there is a welt, a serious welt right over his left eye. Really took a shot unintentionally from Shelton Jones.
Larry Lembo talking to him. I don't think he wanted to leave the floor, but they want to check him out. Here's Billy Donovan.
Ooh, boom.
There it is.
Now they are putting some ice right over the left eye of Jim Burr. Providence up by 5, 6:07 to play here in the first half from a sold-out Providence Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Take a look at that move by Billy Donovan in better moments here. This was a dandy.
Well, the Providence backcourt accounts for 65% of their offense this year, and that's between Billy Donovan and Delray Brooks, and you can see why with moves like that.
And you see the backcourt scoring right now, 22 for the Friars and just 4. Mark Jackson with 3, and Matt Brust, Orlando Lewis rather, with 1, and those are the only points St. John's has received from their backcourt. Jim Burr is still applying that ice to see if he can bring the swelling down at all over his left eye.
That's why we thought the key to this game perhaps was the inside play of players like David Kipper, who's been held to that early bucket that he got for the Friars. The edge on the front court scoring department certainly goes to St. John's with Shelton Jones and Willie Glass. 11 points between the two of them, and kind of a surprise, Terry Bross chipping in with an additional 5.
And Jim Burr is going to leave the floor. Larry Lembo. Jim Kinsey will continue to work this game. Luke Carnesecca was up at the scorer's table the entire time. Rick Pitino, curiously enough, sat on his bench for the entire discussion. Now Pitino is getting the word as to what's going to happen. Here you see the career record of Rick Pitino, 7 years, a lot of those at Boston University, a second year here at Providence College. Billy Donovan picked up a foul, and Jackson is at the line. That's where we were when a collision occurred between Shelton Jones and Jim Burr.
Rick Pitino got the attention of Marty Conlon before this shot and said, don't go in the lane too soon. No mental mistakes right now.
Jackson gets the shooter's bounce, his 4th point of the night, and that's the lead, 4, and Providence has got it.
Love the way before he takes that free throw, he puts his hand up to make sure he's lined with the basket. To you shooters watching, you line up for free throws with your shooting hand, not necessarily with your feet.
Shelton Jones trying to keep it alive, and the foul is going to go on Marco Baldi, I believe, over the back. Yep, Marco Baldi picks it up, his first, and now we're going to shoot some free throws at the other end.
Marco Baldi, Long Island Lutheran High School by way of Italy, and he's from the same high school that produced big men for St. John's, Bill Wennington and Wayne McCoy.
Marty Conlon, an excellent free throw shooter. Providence very high on this young man. They really think he's going to be a player for him. First 2 points of the night, and the Friar lead is back to 6, and immediately they apply pressure. Now just 2 officials work in this game, which is going to be very tough because Providence, with this press, are just all over you.
It makes it so difficult to slow the tempo of the game down, too. You have to credit Mark Jackson against this pressure to settle down. I do think there are times where St. John should attack the pressure, though, because once you get through the initial press, there are some good 3-on-2s.
Inside, Baldi spins away, got Shamsuddin. They got to count it. Count the basket for Baldi.
But Baldi took an extra step on this. He didn't walk. I just thought he had the shot sooner, like right there. Takes the extra pump fake. He'll go for the conventional 3.
Shamsuddin picks up his second personal foul, and Baldi makes it a 3-point game.
Lou Carnesecca with 10 points from the center position in this first half, and that's very significant. The Johnnies doing their damage from the paint area.
Conlon outside looking for help. Brooks comes out. Jackson's got him. St. John straight man, and you see how aggressive Brust is up on Billy Donovan, and Brust is going to be called with the foul.
He is very intense defensively, and it tends to pick people up on the team defensively, particularly when they play at Alumni Hall. Louis telling him, turn it down just a notch, though, right there.
Matt Brust, who is from Babylon, New York, and was quite a tight end in high school. In fact, he was recruited by both Miami and Penn State. Billy Donovan knocks home the first free throw.
You can see why when you see the way he moves out there and his defensive intensity, not to mention the build that he has.
And there you see the focal point of Providence College basketball these last couple of years. Billy Donovan, he now has 11 first half points, and his partner in the backcourt, Delray Brooks, has got 10.
Donovan's a great story. He plays with tremendous confidence. He, along with Mark Jackson, quality point guards.
Shelton Jones. There you touched it right on the head, Ron, when you said attack the pressure.
When you can, it's wise to do it, because otherwise Providence has nothing to lose, letting it all hang out against the pressure, knowing that St. John's will just set up their half-court offense.
The crowd trying to get behind the Friars right now, as most of this 12,000 just got to their feet and started cheering.
The tempo of this game is slowed down the way St. John's would like it.
Donovan short with it, kept alive. Brooks got it.
21 points between Delray Brooks and Billy Donovan. Nothing new.
Ernie Lewis the steal. Lewis again. Comes all the way out to Donovan. Lewis one more time. Rebound Brust. And Friars with a flurry.
Can't connect, but what opportunities.
Traveling violation, Willie Glass. .407 to play as Louis Six back down. Has a couple of words from Matt Brust as he goes by. Providence by 5.
Great to see the reflections of the team, of their coaches. Lou Carnesecca, the aggressive defensive man-to-man team, and Rick Pitino, very fiery. And I think you can see his players showing that attitude out there.
Shamsuddin misses in the lane, and Baldi walked with it. Brust really got in there a little aggressively with Baldi and forced his own teammate to walk. And now we're going to take a timeout. This is a dandy here in Providence. 35-30. Friars by 5. 3:51 to play here first half. Providence by 5. Ron, you talked about attacking the press.
I think at times you have to. Otherwise, Providence would just go all out every time, knowing that St. John's will run their half-court set. When the advantage is there, this is maturity on the part of St. John's. 2-on-1 basketball, and that's what you call finishing off. If they don't have that, though, they're not afraid to set up.
Lou Carnesecca has his team back on the floor. You see they can keep the pace of the game down, but they have not been scoring at the rate I'm sure Louis would like. Providence Civic Center is starting to rival the Carrier Dome as far as mascots. There are mascots everywhere.
A lot of people came into this game with black capes on.
All right, Friars are set to inbound. Donovan will do it. Carlton Screen back in the ball game with Donovan, Lewis, Conlon, and Shamsuddin. Mark Jackson, the foul outside.
Well, with just 2 officials working the game right now, I think they're doing a good job to maintain the type of consistency they've had since early, calling the reach-in fouls. Jimmy Burr, as we saw moments ago, took that elbow, the accidental elbow from Shelton Jones in wild action. He's off the court, so we've got 2 officials working a very fast-paced game right now.
Lewis on the bench. Darrell Wright is checked in. Providence will usually turn up the defensive pressure a little bit with Wright in the game. Shelton Jones rebounds the miss, important because it doesn't allow Providence to set up in that press.
The other tough thing for two officials is to try to spot the three-point field goal to make sure the feet are behind the line, especially with Providence launching them up there.
St. John's looking to get back to within 3 here. A game seemingly dominated by Providence, and yet St. John's is right there.
Very quietly hanging tough in this game, playing now with patience against a 2-3 matchup zone defense.
Near steal by Screen. Brust quickly to Glass, and now they bring it back out. Jackson, tough shot. Rebound, strong one underneath by Brust, and Conlon's called at the foul, I believe, over the back. No, a jump ball is called. And that was a heck of a play, I guess, then by Marty Conlon, as he came right over the top of Matt Brust for that rebound. Take a look.
Well, Brust sneaks in with good inside position, but Conlon has the ball, but due to the position that Brust had, he was able to tie it up.
St. John's keeps it with the possession arrow. 2:55 now to play. Darrell Wright for Providence called as he pushed off Willie Glass on the drive.
You're playing the low positions right now in the 2-3, matching up for Providence, where Darrell Wright and Marty Conlon are playing. They have to come out against Shelton Jones and Willie Glass, protecting the baseline and forcing Glass and Jones into the middle. They're too quick to allow them to go baseline.
All right, so the 6'6" senior out of Atlantic City steps to the line. Baldy trying to keep it alive, but it came to Wright, and a quick whistle outside. It'll be Providence ball.
Unintentional. Jim Kinsey, I think, thought that ball might have hit a support underneath the backboard. Right away, he said, my mistake, Providence ball. Providence attacking this 1-3-1 with a 2-1-2 set. Need the split of the two people to try to set up the outside shooter.
Screen tied up, looking for the 5-second violation over on the St. John's bench. Back in comes Delray Brooks, and Carlton Screen goes out. Preliminary report on Jim Burr, a contusion to the forehead. It's being iced in the back. He seems fine and may even be back for the second half.
That's good news for Jim Burr.
Last, the block on Darrell Wright. St. John's the ball, again a chance to get to 3.
Great quickness to block the shot of a jump shooter.
Inside, Willie Glass got it in a foul.
What a great shift to his left hand on that one. Body control and the presence of mind to finish off. He's been patient in this first half. He hasn't had a lot of scoring opportunities. Look at him shield defensively that time. Abdul Shamsuddin with the body and goes with the left hand to finish off.
Willie liked it too.
He was happy about it. Why not?
Misses again on the free throw line though. So the lead is 3. Providence having a lot of trouble scoring these last 8 or 9 minutes.
Mike, they're starting their offense out too deep right now against the 1-3-1. They need to get it in closer around the top of the key to set for that kind of shot.
Darrell Wright, a good offensive rebound. Got it! Nice athletic play by Darrell Wright, the 6'5" sophomore.
Providence's bench averages 25 points a game this year. That's a major contribution by people coming off the bench.
Shelton Jones kind of sidestepping it down. Now they kick it out to Brust, and Jackson will set up a play with 1:25 to go on the half.
Mike, the other interesting stat on Providence, they're very stingy letting their opponents score the three-point shot. Only 7 coming into this game. There's another one potentially, though.
Tapped home by Glass. 12 first half points for Willie Glass.
Offensive boards. Have to lay a body on Willie Glass. He may jump over you, but you have to lay a body on him.
Tipped away by Brust. Good defensive play. He's got Glass with him. Takes it himself, and he'll go to the line. Delray Brooks got the worst of that exchange. I'll tell you, just like bounced off Matt Brust.
I think one of our cameramen took a little beating on this one, too. Matt Brust goes all the way with the left. Delray Brooks comes right onto the cameraman. He says it's not tough work working the sidelines here.
I never did. Brust, a 69% free throw shooter. Free throws have betrayed St. John's here these last 3 or 4 minutes. They could have tied this game up. Coming up at halftime, we're going to take a look at Mark Jackson of St. John's, also a look around the Big East, and have some highlights from what has been a good first half here in Providence. Second one rolls in.
Good shooters hoops here at the Providence Civic Center. If you can get the good spin on the ball from in front, you've got a good chance that it'll roll in if you hit it off the iron.
Carlton screen, dumps it off nicely to Shamsuddin.
Penetration does so much for you offensively, and Carlton screen did it real well right there.
Daring pass that got all the way through. Jackson, basket and a foul on Dean.
We have seen some tremendous athletic moves in this first half, and that's another one by the fine point guard for St. John's.
And the freshman Shamsuddin has 4 personal fouls.
Mark Jackson able to hang in midair, draw the contact, and finish off all in one play.
Again, the free throw line. Key for St. John's here. They're now down just a deuce, 39-37. 35 seconds to play first half. Don't be all that surprised if Providence just pushes it up and shoots it, too. It's no guarantee they'll go for the last shot.
May not work it all the way down. They tend to work for the quick shot.
5 points now for Mark Jackson. Jackson putting a little pressure himself on screen.
But here, Rick Pitino, though, saying one shot. He'd like to see if the Friars can go in up by 3 or maybe 4 if they can hit the 3-point shot. They've got a 1-point advantage right now.
Dave Snedeker has checked into the game for the first time for the Friars, number 32. He's out of the picture right now. The Friars in a little weave outside.
Donovan generally takes charge in these situations. He'll take his own shot if he has it. If not, he draws the crowd and he'll dish off.
Somebody better do something fairly quickly here. Screen, penetrates. Shelton Jones got a piece of that. Conlon at the buzzer. It's a 2-point game, a 1-point game at halftime. We have played 20 minutes here at the Providence Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island. And after the Friars got off quickly, St. John's has come back strong. Our score at the half, Providence 39, Redmen 38. Tonight's Big East basketball game is brought to you by Piedmont. And we're back in Providence, Rhode Island, about 15 seconds away from second half action. Mike Gorman along with Ron Perry. And our official, Jim Burr, is going to go back and work this second half. Let's take a look at the stats from the first half. And you can see that the free throw line did betray St. John's a bit. They were 8 of 10 at one time, and then they went 5 out of the last 10, missing a couple of one-on-ones in the process. Anything else jump out at you there, Ron?
The other thing is just the field goal percentage for Providence. That's what typically St. John's holds their opponents to, low 40% shooting. And the other thing is that the scoring really came from the backcourt for Providence. We said at the top they need some more production down low.
One thing that may be a key as we enter into the second half, and that is that Willie Glass, Shelton Jones, and Mark Jackson all played all 20 minutes of that first half. Will the Providence pressure show on them? We'll see. There's the first half scoring leaders. Glass with 12, Jones and Jackson 7 apiece, Baldy and Gross 5 apiece. And it was the backcourt, as Ron pointed out, Brooks and Donovan combining for 23 points, and then a serious drop-off.
You can see the strengths of both teams. St. John's scoring down low, and Providence scoring from their backcourt. Both teams would like to reverse that somewhat. Of course, Mark Jackson doing a good job from the point guard position.
I would expect Ernie Lewis hit a 3-pointer early in the game. He may try to pick up that pace a little bit and shoot it. I don't remember him shooting it anymore after that.
Picked up 2 fouls, Mike. He sat for a while and didn't get back into the flow when he came back on the court.
That'll be Providence ball to begin this second half. Donovan, Brooks, Kipfer, Duda, and Lewis are on the floor. No surprises for St. John's, and Kipfer starts the second half exactly the way he started the first.
That was a set play. They ran Kipfer off the high post screen, and he just finished it off with a fine move.
Kipfer scored the first basket of the game, and that's the only basket he had in the first half.
Comes off a 19-point game against Georgetown, and he was all over the floor.
Jackson now again. The ability to strangle a game. Matt Bruss skips through for 2.
No one picked up to help out that time. Low for Providence. A very easy basket for Matt Bruss.
St. John stays right within 1. The Friars, I would think, need to get off quickly. Duda picked up the foul. Brust went down like a truck hit him.
Well, he should have. Jacek Duda, a very big frame. He's 6'11", came over, and he was still moving as Matt Bruss went down. That's his 4th personal, and to send Bruss down, you have to set quite a screen. I watched it very closely away from the ball. Brooks tried to set up Bruss into the screen, and Duda was still moving as Bruss came across.
St. John's now a chance to take the lead in this ball game. They trail by 1.
Serious foul down low for Providence. You've got 4 fouls on Shamsuddin and Yasik Duda, and you've got 3 personals down low, I believe, on Marty Conlon.
Jackson, great feed to Baldi for 2. 7 points for Marco Baldi, who's having a strong game. St. John's by 1, and now we'll see how Providence reacts. Brooks misses outside. Shelton Jones takes down the rebound. St. John's led 3-0 in this game. Providence came back and scored 7 straight points, and now with 18:31 left to go in the game, it's the 2nd St. John's lead. Shelton Jones kicking it out. Jackson nodding approval of the play.
Said you didn't have it down low. That's a good choice to get it back out, Shelton.
Comes to Jackson. Finds Brust. Good fake, and now he forced it up, but he was hit by Steve Wright, and that is 3 on Wright.
I think Wright was the other player I was thinking of down low with foul trouble. Marty Conlon just has a personal, but Brust does a good job to penetrate, gets right off his feet, and draws the body foul.
And Brust, again, who was quiet in the first half. He's had some big games for St. John's of late.
Really pushing his free throws up tonight. He's not getting any kind of bend out of his knees. He's shooting at all arms. Shooting right into the Friar cheering section. They were all on their feet, waving the arms.
And Coach Rick Pitino with the offense in front of him, up and immediately yelling at the officials as they came into the forecourt. Inside, Wright hits a turnaround. And Providence immediately into their press, and now the officials are going to move the cheerleaders back a little bit. Baldi gets it to Glass, up to Jones, and they break it easily.
Good initial pressure by Providence, but once you get by that around midcourt, you do have the chance to go at him. Steve Wright is the man that stays back.
Shelton Jones hits baseline.
He can heat up in a hurry, and he likes to do it in the second half.
Donovan kicks it inside to Wright. Wants to go. Over the shoulder shot. Won't go down.
Reminiscent of Will Chamberlain's old finger roll, but he was off balance.
One of the more interesting shots I've seen taken this year.
Providence not getting the three-point field goal opportunities against the very tight St. John's man-to-man pressure.
Baldi kicks it off to Jones. Shelton wants to go inside. It's stolen by Brooks. Tried to get it into Willie Glass. Up quickly on the break. Lewis got it and a foul. Big play. Ernie Lewis. He drew Baldi into him and then put it in off the glass.
Pop Lewis has this way about him of just gliding up the court. Somehow he maintained balance on that play and slithered the shot through Marco Baldi's extended arms.
Oh, nice move.
Sure was.
Kipfer is back in for Providence College. Tied at 45. Lewis a chance to break it.
Talked about crowd, Mike. That kind of play can get a Civic Center really roused up.
There you see Pitino, calm at the moment on the Providence College bench. Jackson breaks the pressure. He's got Jones with him. And the foul will be on Steve Wright, number 4. Steve Wright was beaten. He knew it.
Wright, Shamsuddin, and Duda, 3 big people for Rick Pitino, all with 4 personals. Not a good match for Providence. Mark Jackson that time got out against the pressure. He tends to know what to do with the ball once he's there, too.
Mark will measure and shoot. His club down by 1. Sixth point of the night for Mark Jackson as Shamsuddin, the freshman, comes back in. He's got 4. Wright's got 4. Duda's got 4. It would not be the first time this year if all 3 of those players fouled out. Rick Pitino has said openly, I don't have a center, I've got 15 fouls, and that's pretty much how he plays it.
Uses his people. Marty Conlon will probably check in soon.
7 points for Jackson, a 1-point St. John's lead. Kipfer, couple of fakes on Baldy, too hard off the glass, and Shelton Jones owns the rebound.
Credit the 6'11" Baldy there. He changed the shot of the 6'7" Kipfer, giving up the 4 inches.
St. John's by 1, looking for 3.
1-2-2 zone by Providence. They'll match up out of it. The key to them defensively is to try to contain Jackson up top.
Willie Glass wants it. Rebound Brooks. Off to Donovan as the Friars look to run. Kicks it to Lewis, too far in the corner. Inside, Kipfer, down low. Dean, good, and a foul. Great pass, Kipfer.
Kipfer does the right thing fundamentally that time down low. He gets the ball and squares immediately to his man. He faces up on Baldy where he can see things. Draws both Jones and Baldy to him. Not enough rotation as Dean finishes off inside.
3rd foul on Marco Baldi.
Shamsa Dean just playing organized ball for 3 years. He's got some great tools.
Big free throw for the kid. Providence back up by a deuce.
St. John's using their big people to get the ball inbounds, and they try to get it to Jackson. Rick Pitino says the press this year not as effective as last year when they had Alan Roth and, most importantly, Harold Starks, but it does cause people normally to rush their shot. It's tough to do with the poise of St. John, and it also wears people down in the second half. And as you mentioned, Mike, the St. John's Redmen are really all going most of the ballgame.
Matt Bruss kicks it off. Shelton Jones. Jackson, a couple of fakes. Long rebound comes to Delray Brooks. Ahead to Billy Donovan. Pulls up for 3. Got it!
Providence looks that much more effective in their transition game. That time they got the break going off the long rebound. This year with the 3-point shot, you do see a lot of long rebounds.
Now Jackson will try to take this crowd out of a game that just exploded with Donovan's 3-point shot. Shelton Jones. Willie Glass foul Dave Kipfer. On Kipfer, that is 3.
St. John's is so tough. We've said it. We don't want to be repetitive, but once the shot goes up, they really chase the offensive rebounds. And Willie Glass, great vertical leaper.
52-47. Providence by 5. And Glass takes his 12 first-half points to the line. Carlton screen in. Delray Brooks out for Providence as you look at Luke on a second.
I think he's giving defensive signals.
The student section just gets louder. Glass buries the second, and we're going to have a timeout. We've got just over 14 minutes of basketball left here from Providence. The Friars are up by 4. There you see the foul situation for both clubs. Wright, Duda, and Shamsa Dean, all with 4 apiece for Providence College, and Baldi with 3. It's kind of a wash, actually, in the middle. Providence still has 3 fouls to give in the middle, and St. John's really only has 2.
They do. It's also a telling stat to see the point production out of the big people down low for Rick Pitino. Not many. He just had 4 points.
And there you see Pitino, who has really brought basketball life back to the Providence Civic Center. They just about or did sell out here at the last minute for Georgetown the other night. They were sold out 2 days ago here for St. John's, and you have the feeling that when Pittsburgh and Villanova show up here, this is going to be a tough, tough building to play in. Donovan again. Got it!
2 3-pointers in a row that brings the crowd to its feet. He hasn't been able to get that shot off against the man-to-man. Jackson needs to get another step or 2 closer to him, but Donovan does have the quick first step for the penetrating move.
Suddenly, Providence College goes up 7. Providence a little more aggressive on the doubles, and they get Baldy to travel with it.
Good look into the middle. It was wide open for St. John's. They probably don't want to give it to Baldy, though, 17 feet from the basket. Preferably a player like Shelton Jones or Willie Glass.
Providence College on a 7-1 run right now, thanks to the three-pointers by Donovan. And Screen is fouled on the way through. Jackson's going to pick it up. Third foul on Mark Jackson. That foul was on Mark Jackson.
Brust is now matching up with Donovan at 6'5". Tougher for Billy Donovan to shoot it over him. He can't. He needs several feet to get the shot off.
Near steal by Jackson.
Another reason why Pop Lewis has been somewhat quiet from three-point territory. He's being guarded by Willie Glass, noted for his defensive ability.
And an illegal screen is called on Billy Donovan. Providence does an awful lot of screening away from the ball. Second foul on Donovan, 5 on Providence College here, and 3 on St. John's in the second half. St. John's very effective getting that ball to Baldy on the initial pass against the pressure.
He's 6'11", Mike. When he gets it, he can see over people up court. Main thing for Providence, though, is that Donovan was blanketed on Mark Jackson, trying to deny him.
Baldy to Glass, and he rolls it in.
Mismatch.
Good look by Marco.
Sure was. Carlton Screen was on him, and Willie Glass had his way.
St. John's back to within 5.
They just keep picking away. It's difficult to really pull away from St. John's because they're very under control and execute well in the half-court offense.
Donovan. And Rust is going to be called for the foul outside. Really gets the crowd on his case as he storms off. On Rust, that is number 3.
There are some players that are very blank-faced on the court, but Matt Brust, when he does something that he doesn't like, it's very evident to all the 12,000-plus fans here at the Civic Center.
No secrets there, is that? Carlton Screen, little stutter
Good
step.
pass.
Great pass to Dean. Nifty move is tipped home by Kipfer.
Good patience by Kipfer to wait till that ball rolled off the rim, out of the cylinder, before he tipped it home.
Shamsuddin, I can see why they are really pumped up about him. He makes some nice moves under the hoop.
Got some great tools.
Shelton Jones takes it at him and hits.
Very under control move by Shelton Jones, playing with poise. And he takes the high percentage shot. He's tough to stop.
Carlton Screen able to give Billy Donovan a rest as far as bringing the ball up. Donovan pops out. Rust is there. Donovan spins on him. Shamsuddin again. Tap from Kipfer won't go, but they have got Kipfer over the top. And on Kipfer, that is number 4.
Real serious foul trouble for Providence in low. Look at this fine pass on the previous play by Carlton Screen. It won't drop home for him, but Kipfer is right there to let it come out of the cylinder, as I mentioned, and drop it in.
And you see Kipfer joins the pack with 4 fouls and is on the bench, and Rick Pitino is really hot on the officials, Jim Kinsey in particular. Jackson, a great pass for Jones.
Oh, he looked the other way and dropped it in there for Jones, and that's the third master dunk by Shelton Jones in this one.
And suddenly it is 3 again, 57-54. Donovan.
You've got to go over and pat Jackson on the back if you're his teammate after the game and just say thank you, so he'll keep doing that for you all season long.
Lewis gives to Donovan, who wants to go on Brust. Lewis for 3. Jackson the rebound. St. John's can get to 1 or tie. Jackson, yes, and a foul.
Why St. John's is always in the thick of the things, not only in the Big East, but in the national scene. Mark Jackson, such a key player, controls the pace of the game for St. John's. Heads up, smart player, feels the contact, knows the whistle was blown, and finishes off.
Jackson looking for his 10th point of the night, but more importantly, it would tie the game at 57. St. John's coming right back and hitting the Friars with a run after Providence College had taken the lead. We now have an 11-minute and 47-second game in front of us. St. John's 57, Providence 57. Back after this word from your local station. And welcome back to Providence, everybody. Mike Gorman along with Ron Perry. And don't forget, the Plymouth Player of the Game will be selected at the conclusion of this game and during every game televised by the Big East Conference Television Network. It is all part of the Chrysler Corporation sponsorship of Big East basketball.
Well, if I had to pick a couple of candidates right now, Billy Donovan certainly leading the way for Providence with 16. He's made 2 big three-pointers in a row. And the trio of Jones, Glass, and Jackson right in the thick of the thing for the Redmen.
You see they have played very, very well at home. They have won 5 straight in the Big East, and they have never done that before.
And they've won 8 in a row overall, so they've been getting used to being on the win side of the ledger.
Delray Brooks pops out. Jackson's on him. Brust continues to follow Donovan everywhere. Conlon back in the game. Donovan. How far out will he go? And Brust is called with the bump. And that is number 4 on Matt Brust.
It's sometimes easier for a player of Donovan's size, 6 feet, to penetrate against the bigger player, get the quick step. Tougher to take the perimeter shot, but easier to penetrate rather than having the 5'10" rabbit right around you when you put the ball down.
Long pass out. Donovan tracks down. Jackson now has got Donovan. Conlon thought better of the shot and kicks it out. Lewis. Shamsuddin short with it. Out of bounds off Conlon, I believe. And a foul, I believe, also called on Marty Conlon, his second. There you see Orlando Lewis coming back into the game. He played a lot of minutes in the first half. Providence is over the limit, and so we're going to walk the other way and shoot some free throws with the score tied at 57. There you see Pittsburgh now pulling away from Connecticut in the second half, 58-39.
Seems like since intermission, they've got their up-tempo game in gear.
A win tonight would put Pittsburgh in a first-place tie with Syracuse. Shelton Jones back-rimmed it, and Delray Brooks coming away with the rebound.
That should be a big factor in this game. St. John's was 13 of 20. They missed 7 at halftime. Can't miss the front ends of those one-on-ones.
Lewis, Glass got a piece of it, and Bross comes away with a miss. We stay at 57. Jackson finds Lewis, and he traveled with it.
That's what hesitation will do to you. Orlando Lewis had a thought about taking the shot. Jackson had drawn the crowd, but once you give it that second thought, oftentimes you drag your pivot foot.
Back come the Friars looking to take the lead.
Double stack offense with Donovan up top, and he's got a lot of room to maneuver. It's designed that way so that he can penetrate. Great matchup there with Jackson and Donovan.
Fires away. Hits it!
That's 3 for Billy Donovan. Tough man to defend. He's quick with the penetration, but he's got great range.
And he just keeps going back a little further, too.
He's almost out of bounds on that one. He's got great confidence. Billy Donovan and Mark Jackson play with all kinds of confidence, and they pick up the players around them.
Orlando Lewis walked with it again. Second straight turnover for the freshman. Louis wishing he was a sophomore.
He'll turn into one very quickly in these kinds of Big East games. Main thing for him is to just keep playing out there and go at things aggressively.
Jackson skipped around Lewis. Delray Brooks got it! Basketball is back in Providence.
Mike, and you can tell that they practice
Steal
that.
Lewis. Foul Willie Glass.
Big momentum shift. I started to say you can see that Providence practices that three-point shot. They just run behind that line, and they're all uncanny finding each other.
We've got a timeout. 10 minutes to go. The Friars suddenly by 6, and the folks are in it. We'll be back after this word from your local station. Minutes left to play here in Providence. The Friars up by 6, and their press telling the story here.
Mike, sooner or later you get this kind of opportunity. The press doesn't work sometimes, and you give up some easy baskets once in a while, but eventually you will get the slip up and have your offensive chance.
And that particular play there, it was more the idea of Willie Glass just like not catching the ball because he's looking to see where people are.
That's right. They're always around you, and you know when you play Providence that they'll be on you 94 feet.
Ernie Lewis is a terrific free throw shooter. You'd like him, Ron.
He's got great concentration, soft touch.
That's the first one he's missed this year in a Big East game. 64-57. Delray Brooks committed the foul. We're going to go shoot some free throws on the other end. 9:59 still to play. Luke Onaseka settling back into their seats. They tend to play very long basketball games here at Providence College. We're going to see Marcus Broadnax for the first time tonight, a 6'2" freshman out of Fort Walton Beach who can really shoot it. Shelton Jones quiets the crowd, at least for the moment. 14 unofficially for Shelton.
7 of those in his second half when he tends to come to life.
Glass kept it alive. Ross, three-point play, it turns out.
You were right, Mike. Willie Glass couldn't get 2 hands on it, and you're taught as a big man, try to just bat it somewhere, keep it alive, and he kept it in the lane over to Bross.
Providence lead shrinks to 4. Lewis throws it up short. Rebound, Shelton Jones. St. John's again. It's their turn to make a run. They can get back to 2.
It's like a tug-of-war in this game.
Broadnax and Jackson exchanging passes.
The mismatch right now is Pop Lewis at 6'4" on Shelton Jones at 6'9", if St. John's can find him down low.
Near steal Brooks, but he committed another foul. Number 3. Providence has committed a ton of fouls.
That's why this game is still just with 9-10 to go. A lot of time, because we're going to spend a lot of time at the foul line.
Glass got them both.
Great concentration.
Donovan now. Lewis thought about the three-pointer. Lewis will try. Long rebound. Jackson's got it. St. John's can tie this trip.
And he'll just walk it up. A lot of players would try to turn the afterburners on right there, but he's content to bring it down, set up for the high percentage, and try to find Glass or Jones. They've been doing it for St. John's.
Travel on Bross.
Bross right away looked at Mark Jackson and pointed to his head. He said, I know, I didn't use my head on that one. I should have just given it back to you or just squared and then dumped it off without trying to put it on the floor.
Providence by a deuce. Brooks, Broadnax, a good job. Donovan down low. Conlon stepped on the end line, was on the baseline when he caught the pass.
That's just inexperience by Conlon. You have to know where you are at all times in the floor.
And Delray Brooks, the quick hands. Got it right back. There you see St. John's 16, the Friars 10 in the turnover column. Donovan. And it'll be St. John's ball.
Ross batted that ball, but it looks like it went off a Friar before going out. Called by Jimmy Burr.
With Pitino watching the game through a picket fence of legs. Here's Broadnax. Gives it up to Jackson. Third trip St. John's has had with a chance to tie.
Providence adjusts back to the 2-3 zone. They'll try to match out of it and get better boxing position down low.
glass, got a step. Rebound right. Donovan. Lewis is alone down in the corner. They find him. Brooks for three. Right, the big rebound.
That's what you call doing it at both ends of the floor.
Steve Wright. Now St. John's breaks. Jones lost it out of bounds.
Louis wants timeout. He wants to settle things down.
St. John's calls a timeout. Listen to this crowd. Providence by 4. We'll be back. Delray Brooks, Marty Conlon, Billy Donovan, Steve Wright, and Ernie Lewis on the floor for Providence. Baldy, Jackson, Broadnax, Jones, and Glass. There goes Brooks to the hoop. Tough shot. Right again.
Very close to being in the cylinder. The ruling was that he tipped it just outside of it, right all over the basket.
6:45 now to play in the game. Providence by a half dozen.
St. John's has continually been able to answer in these types of situations by going to Willie Glass and Shelton Jones.
Shelton will try, and he got it. 16 for Shelton Jones. And we've got a foul after the shot. It's going to go against Ernie Lewis, his third. This could be a 4-point trip for St. John's.
I think they're catching him, Mike, on the follow-through as Glass was finishing, as Jones was finishing off his shots. It'll be one.
I was thinking it was a foul off the ball for a moment, a dead ball foul, but Jones completes the three-pointer. And the game is at 3 with 6:25 to go.
As I said, St. John's answers once again and keeps it close.
Delray Brooks, little up fake on Broadnax, kicks it out to Donovan. Nearly stripped by Jackson, shoots it anyway. Goes and gets the rebound. Brooks, foul by Broadnax on the way up.
That's the kind of play that shows you that Providence definitely works on the three-point play. Billy Donovan was looking out of the corner of his eye for someone out around the three-point lane, and he finally found Brooks out there. You typically don't find a team that throws the ball away from the basket, but Providence with the three-point range does.
Point of the night for Delray Brooks. Baldy rebounds the miss. The lead is 4.
Conlon was there for the offensive rebound. He just didn't time his jump, and it took a bad bounce on him.
Jackson directing the traffic. Broadnax again and shoot it. Just a freshman. We'll see whether or not he'll take the shot when it presents itself. Near steal Brooks. Broadnax has got the shot and he buries it.
That answers that question. Great poise for a freshman.
Billy Donovan and Jackson arguing with each other all the way up. Brooks wants it. Jackson the rebound. St. John's can tie with 5:25 to go in the game.
You might argue that that was a quick shot, but that's Providence style. Had it gone in, it would have just been typical of the way they've been up and down in this game.
The Providence players are just in remarkable condition. Remarkable condition.
They have to be with this pace.
Shelton Jones back. Jackson takes it, hits it. That'll count for 2 and we're tied.
He wants it. He was raising his hands as he went back down court to say, give me the 3 on that one, but his foot must have been on the line.
Donovan, eyeballing Jackson.
Double stack offense by Providence. They're trying to screen down low and free up the shooters.
Lewis, offensive foul, Ernie Lewis. And that is number 4 on Lewis. Now Providence, Rick Pitino really upset, is looking for a timeout, and he's going to get it. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the game. Tie, 69 apiece. Winning by 20 over Connecticut, and so the Panthers now tied with the Syracuse Orangemen for first place in the Big East. Syracuse losing in overtime to Georgetown at the Cap Center this afternoon, 83-81. Syracuse and Pitt both 6-2. St. John's could be 6-3 if they win here tonight. Providence would move into a first place tie if they win. How much St. John's are on to work the clock now.
Now they've been patient this whole game. Mark Jackson just directs the attack. First good opportunity, they take it though.
Willie Glass thought he had it, went and got it again. Turns around, right the block. Steve Wright has been a major factor for Providence College the last 5 minutes. Donovan takes it through, finds Lewis, shooting for three, and he got it.
Pop Lewis now with 7 points in the game, reminiscent of the 3 big ones he hit against the Hoyas in the big upset recently.
Jackson weaves his way into the forecourt, but Providence, with that 3-point shot in their arsenal, always can get themselves on the odd number very quickly.
St. John's plays a lot of close ball games. They work their half-court offense.
Broadnax. Rebound Wright. What a second half Steve Wright is having.
Really asserting themselves, particularly right under the boards where Providence needs the help.
Now Providence is going to pull it a little bit. Carlton screen comes through to the other side. Now Donovan directs the traffic. Wants to go on Jackson. Does. Got it.
Clear out for Billy Donovan, and he made his move, sliced between the players, and that was what Rick Pitino was signaling for. Get over to the left side, clear out for Billy D.
2:50 left to play in the game. Providence by 5.
Obviously a big trip for St. John's.
Jackson wants it. Won't go. Lewis the rebound.
Now look for St. John's to work, I should say, look for Providence to work the clock down somewhat. 2:28 to go in this one. They can't become passive offensively, but they certainly can work that clock.
Donovan off to screen. Steve Wright walked with it.
Anytime we've seen the hesitation move in this game, especially by some of the younger players, it's resulted in a travel. You need to catch the ball, make up your mind quickly. If you don't want to do anything with it, just get it back outside.
There you see 69-74 the score. Jackson quickly forecourt. Foul screen. Now they're going to give a foul on the block as Jackson came hard into Wright. If it's Wright, he's gone. Screen looked like he reached in. And they are giving it to screen. It's a break for the Friars right there. First on screen, but Providence has been over the limit. About a half hour here.
That's for sure.
Donovan very quickly back off the Friar bench. Big shot.
This is nothing new for him, Mike. He looks calm and cool. This is where the foul shot routine is so important. You're a little bit tired, the pressure's on, but you just get your mechanics down and go through your shot.
Unofficially, we got Jackson with 16. 3-point game as Jackson hounds Donovan.
This is where it's ever important to have the quality point guards to maintain good ball possession when you have it in the crucial moments.
Kipfer nearly lost the handle. Found Lewis, got a step on Brust. Spins, short with it. St. John's can get back to within 1:45 to go in the game.
Lewis didn't have much of an opening there. With the clock on their side, it's defense time for PC.
Comes across to Brust. Playing with the 4 foul. Jackson, 25 on the shot clock. Glass double dribble. Big turnover with 1:25 to play. No argument out of Lou Carnesecca.
He's got 1 timeout left, and Providence has 3. And we'll surely see those used down the stretch. Providence will work it around. They'll try to spread the floor and perhaps go to that clear-out play again for Donovan after they take some time off the clock.
You can see they have gone 4 corners. They're letting Lewis handle the ball, and he'll continue to handle it unless Bruss challenges. Glass is up aggressively on Brooks.
Jackson really trying to deny Donovan. They want to try to make other players hurt them besides Billy Donovan.
Providence at 10 right now on the shot clock.
Penetration time.
Donovan, a runner. No. Loose ball. Bruss tracks it down in the corner.
Great defense by St. John's. They didn't allow Providence to get any kind of a high percentage shot.
Will the Redmen go for 3? Shelton Jones, baseline, kicks it out. Bruss will try. Rebound, Donovan.
Louis wants the quick reach in, otherwise Providence will just work this clock down.
Blocking foul, Mark Jackson as he jumped in on Billy Donovan.
And helps him out. Good sportsmanship right there, and the crowd is really into it.
Rick Pitino with some final instructions. Donovan will go to the line. 12,000 are on their feet. Providence.
2 schools of thought there for St. John's. Do you call a timeout and try to set something up? Louis decided they were in their flow to just let them go with it.
Providence College is 18 seconds away for a first-place tie in the Big East. Jackson.
They need one badly, and then a timeout.
3, hits it, and they get the time.
Just what the doctor ordered, and Mark Jackson, Mr. Clutch.
19 points unofficially for Mark Jackson. That is the final timeout St. John's has. They trail by 2.
Mike, the great players want the big shot in crucial moments. Mark Jackson takes it there, does what he has to.
He drained it too, didn't he?
Alertly calls timeout. He sure did.
74, Providence by 2. Louis saying where he wants his guys to be.
Got a big man on the ball. Oh, they used to play where you can pass it along the baseline, which is legal, and they have to call it
5-second violation.
Pitino still wants a timeout. You have to call the timeout before 5. Referee rules right there that the 5 had elapsed. That's the ultimate defense right there by St. John's, and they've got possession with a chance to tie or go ahead with a 3-pointer.
A 5-second violation. Providence gets tricky on the inbounds pass, and it cost them.
You're allowed to do that. You can throw the ball behind the baseline to your teammate. You have to make sure his feet are down. You've got time going off the clock all the way there. He finally tries to look and call timeout, but it's too late. Great denial by St. John's.
Rick Pitino doesn't believe it.
Why?
I tell you, if you watch that replay again, I don't know if we have time to show it to you, but if you watch that replay again and you watch Jim Kinsey, you can see the count. And he was well past 4. Okay, now watch Kinsey. Gives the ball. There's 1. There's
Second tick
2.
off right there in the pass.
3, 4, and now screen turns right there after Kinsey had called 4.
Used to be that you could look at the referee right up 4.5 seconds and you could call timeout, but now you've got up until 5. But Jim Kinsey ruled that the 5 had gone. It used to be that after 4, if you looked at the ref, you could not call timeout. Now you've got up until the 5. He ruled there that his hand had come down on the 5. Too late.
Mark Jackson is going to inbound. John Hempel is checked in the ball game for St. John's. St. John's underneath. Baldi lays it in, and we're tied at 76.
Oh, the one thing you don't want to do if you're Providence is allow the easy pass inside. The man playing the ball should have denied any kind of lane pass. Baldi with the easy position in basket underneath. Plenty of time, however, Mike, for Providence with 7 seconds to get it up court if they get the ball in bounds, which they must do.
Baldi just backed Steve Wright right out of there. Good play by Marco Baldi.
And Pop Lewis backed up as he...
There for St. John's. Terry Bross will cover Kipfer inbounding the ball. Comes to Donovan. 6, 5, 4. Donovan, a runner. No foul call. Overtime. We have got overtime here in Providence.
Quite a game. St. John's would bend but not break in this game, and they made the big baskets, the big plays down the stretch to tie it.
Tied at 76. Overtime is coming up right after these words from your local station. We're ready to go for 5 more minutes. Baldi. We're ready to go for 5 more minutes. Baldi, Glass, Brust, Shelton Jones, Mark Jackson on the floor for St. John's. Brooks, Lewis, Wright, Donovan, and Kipfer. Tap is controlled by Kipfer.
First possession, very important. You're only in a 5-minute game now. So if you can get that first basket in what's turned into a half-court duel, you can start to gain control.
Lewis for 3.
Big basket. Pop seems to save his best for the end.
Sure does. Baldi breaks the pressure.
That was a good no call. The crowd wanted to walk on that, but Baldi did a better job that time to just turn square and get it to his backcourt man.
Shelton Jones, Brust lays it up, and the foul will be on Delray Brooks. And that is number 4 on Brooks. He's got 4. Kipfer's got 4. Wright's got 4. Lewis has got 4.
Everybody seems to have 4, Mike.
Providence has 4 players on the floor with 4, and a couple more on the bench with 4.
You've got some St. John's players out there that have logged a lot of minutes in this ballgame.
I do not think that Willie Glass or Shelton Jones have had a break in this game, or Mark Jackson. I think that threesome have played the entire game.
I think they're pretty used to it.
Yeah.
And I think where they do play a lot of half court, it does allow them at minutes during the game or moments during the game to catch their breath so that they have the strength to finish up.
Rust 1 of 2, and Kipfer's got the rebound. Providence by 2 with the ball.
3, you need to be intelligent with the ball. Keep it in Donovan's hands as much as possible. Take the high percentage shot if it's there, but try to work some time.
Kipfer wants it. Rebound Shelton Jones, and he comes out of the pack himself. Now kicks it back to Jackson. Last year, these 2 clubs played an overtime game here in Providence. St. John's won it. Shelton Jones gives back to Brust. He penetrates, and he hits.
Now there's a lot of pressure right now on Shelton Jones and Willie Glass, and they're being shaded by Providence. Brust not afraid to take the opportunity and capitalize. He really knifed in nicely to get the close one.
Jackson and Donovan matched up. Brooks penetrates. Short with it. Wright misses the jam. Loose ball. Kipfer's got it as they let him play. Lewis. Yeah!
Pop, pop, pop.
Ernie Lewis for 3.
Rick Pitino thought that was 5 seconds on Brust. He just snuck it in. I believe it was probably 4.5. But that does go as a timeout for St. John's. The 1 extra one they were allotted for the extra session.
In the overtime here, and Providence has got a 3-point lead. Let's look at the last one.
He seems very unfazed by the circumstances. He's into his flow, and that's often the result from 3-point land.
4 for 6 from out in the parking lot somewhere.
Providence, number 1 in the country in that department.
And you know, as the season goes on, Ron, they're shooting more of them. Not less of them, they're shooting more of them.
Why not? They have the personnel to do it. They feel comfortable with it. That's where they get most of their points.
Delray Brooks, the near steal. Providence contesting every inch of the floor.
All of a sudden, St. John's has gotten a little bit careful with the ball against pressure versus attacking.
There's Brooks. He got it this time. Basket is going to go. No, says Larry Lembo. No. Foul before the shot.
Looking at this one in fast action, it looks very close. Calls the body foul from behind on the floor before he ever left. Very close. It easily could have gone the other way, but Larry Limbo right on it. Felt the body contact was while the people were on the floor.
Amazing, Ron. We've got 2:52 left in overtime as Brooks nails the free throw, and that was the first foul on Shelton Jones, who has played every minute of this game.
Unbelievable, especially given the intensity defensively and just the array of fouls that have gone around.
Brooks got him both.
Donovan doing a good job denying the ball to Jackson, and that's the key right now. St. John's forced to use other people besides Jackson to bring it up court.
St. John's has been able to successfully make a run each and every time they have fell behind.
Jackson needs to take charge and penetrate. They're looking for him.
Russ looked at Jones, then at Baldy. Now he goes into Jones. Shelton spins, short with it. Right, another big rebound. Providence by 5 and the ball. You see the time.
Rick Pitino will spread the floor again, I'm sure, if not a clear out for Billy Donovan, and try to take some time off the clock. Still a lot of time in this game, though. You can't be passive. Taking time off the clock doesn't mean you lose your aggressiveness.
Providence 17 seconds on the shot clock. Delray Brooks wants a little help. Now Donovan gets it with 10. Donovan looks to go. Got it! Big bucket, Billy Donovan, and Providence goes up 7.
Clutch baskets by Billy Donovan and Pop Lewis in the extra session. No time to waste now for St. John's. They have to go right at it.
Willie Glass, and the foul will be on Steve Wright, and that'll be number 5. But Steve Wright had the best 8-point game you'll ever see.
He was a major force on the boards in the second half. A lot of players have gone a lot of minutes for Rick Pitino with 4 fouls to finally see someone go out of the game.
Willie Glass steps to the line, 1:23 to play, and he missed it.
St. John's with no timeouts left. Glass can make this. They need intense defense, and they'll have to reach in and try to foul.
Jackson got it back for 3. Rust and Jones try to follow Donovan the loose ball.
Look at Billy Donovan take charge. St. John's has to reach in. It's a 7-point game. They can't allow Providence to work the clock down. There it is.
Oh, Willie Glass reaching around on Delray Brooks. Just the second foul on Willie Glass. It's amazing Willie Glass and Shelton Jones can, don't take this wrong, folks. I mean, they have played well tonight. They have played very well, and they could play this long and pick up a total of 3 fouls between the two of them.
It's also an indication of Providence's perimeter game. They didn't really dump it inside as certainly as much as St. John's did to try to force the foul.
The Providence backcourt of Delray Brooks and Billy Donovan have combined unofficially for 45 points.
On the season, they account for 65% of the PC offense.
88-79. Shelton Jones off to the races, finds Hempel for a layup.
No timeouts for St. John's. They need a quick reach in. Donovan's not the guy that they want to reach in on.
You see the time ticking off. Jackson's going to have to go for the steal. They're going to keep it in Donovan's hands. They being Providence College. Weaves his way through. Nice move there. And there's the grab. .32 seconds to play. 88-81. Stepping to the line, Billy Donovan.
Billy the Kid Donovan. What a season he's having.
Oh, just a terrific player.
A lot of electricity at the Providence Civic Center, 2 games in a row.
And the Plymouth player of the game, we're going to make it Billy Donovan.
No argument from me.
Unofficially, that is point number 27. There he is. Our Plymouth player of the game with 28 points, Billy Donovan. You told me the Friars could score 90 on St. John's before this began. Willie Glass takes a runner. A blocking foul is called on Jacek Duda. He has fouled out, but it is apparently icing on the cake here.
The tempo of this game has really been more of a half-court game. But with the 3-point bombs that Providence can hit, it can explode at any time, and they've broken it open.
There you see Duda sitting down after his 5th personal foul. At the line will be Willie Glass. Marty Conlon will come in to fill out the Friar 5. Glass is 5 of 11 at the free throw line. Free throws have really bothered St. John's here tonight.
Beginning early in this ball game, they've had some trouble from the line.
You see Louis' reaction. Matt Bruss seated next to him. St. John's Monday night faces Georgetown at Madison Square Garden. And they are happy in Providence. I'll tell you they're happy.
Everyone is on their feet in the Civic Center. They were here early for this one. I don't think anyone's left before this final buzzer is going to sound.
David Kipfer, 6 points. The first 2 in the game, the first 2 in the second half. Might have the last 2, too. Rick Pitino, his club has now won 6 straight if they hold on here for the final 20 seconds in the Big East. Never before has a Providence College team done that.
Go Friars!
You look at your roster, the Providence College roster, and you wonder how. But they just keep doing it. Jackson. Donovan, the rebound. 5, 4. Kipfer, foul, Bross. Dave Kipfer pulls him back, self back on his feet, and he'll go to the line with 2 seconds on the clock.
Billy Donovan trying to set up Kipfer for the last 2 with an exclamation point. But Terry Bross has other ideas with a very aggressive foul. What I did see, though, as Kipfer went to the line, they patted each other 5. How about Billy D? What a game.
It is amazing what Rick Pitino has done to the city of Providence. Just amazing.
All coming together. I said it earlier about their confidence, and they've really got a roll going now.
Providence College plays Boston College at the Boston Garden on Tuesday night, and then Pittsburgh here next Saturday. There is Rick Pitino. And there's the horn. Once again, the final score, 93 for Providence, 81 for St. John's. Let's take a quick look at the standings. And there you see it. Providence College tied for first in the Big East, 16-3 on the season. It is bedlam here in Providence.
They've won 6 Big East games in a row. The fans are loving it.
For Ron Perry, I'm Mike Gorman. Once again, the final score. Providence College, their 6th straight Big East win, 93-81 over St. John's. Good night, everybody. The preceding has been a presentation of the Big East Conference Television Network. Hey, sorry, guys.